Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Acknowledging 10 years of award-winning car talk. It's the In Wheel Time car show. I'm done with celebrating.
50-year high school reunions.
We're not celebrating anymore. We're just acknowledging. Coming up, we got the Emmons brothers to talk to about the used car market and drag racing. We need more. Jeff is going to review a 2016 Dodge Dart.
The demise of the Dart.
Conrad has the racing calendar, and the car clinic will also have the stories making automotive news headlines if all goes well this hour on the In Wheel Time car show. Howdy. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong.
We need more Jeff.
We need more Jeff Dziekan.
Look at that. I just threw a slider, curveball, fastball in there.
You wish.
Yeah.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. This is our live show, and we also have podcasts. So we take this live show, the 3-hour live show, we bust it all up, and then we send it down the line in podcasts each day of the week, Sunday through Friday.
And then we're live on Saturday.
I wouldn't use the word bust up. I would have it selective cuts.
Selective cuts.
Selective cuts.
Like
Half-hour
market.
podcasts.
Yeah.
It's a great
It's
way
kind of
to
like going to the butcher.
Yes.
The select cuts.
I'll have that one there.
Okay. Well, are we ready over there, Mr. Morris?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that's awesome.
So I don't know what kind of surprise we're going to get
You're
here,
about
but
to see.
ladies and gentlemen, down to Emmons
Autoplex.
down in Friendswood, Texas. It's the Emmons brothers, but there's only one right now.
I know. I thought there was two there a minute ago.
No, there's two. There's two Wallies
There's
sitting
two
there.
Wallies
Hey guys, how y'all doing this morning?
Good.
Well, obviously we've had something to drink or something's wrong over here because our mind is just a little wasted this morning. We stayed up too late is the really bottom line. Did
Watching
you?
the Astros.
Did you stay up too?
No, well, I was doing some racing practice. I didn't stay up to watch the game like probably everyone else did. But,
And what were you practicing?
well, I have a Christmas tree simulator that I make sure I practice on every night, on every evening. So I try to do a certain, like I try to run between 100 to 200 practice runs, and then I'll stop. And then I'll come back to it in about another 30 minutes, and I'll try to do another set.
And how do you do? When you do it that way, do you find yourself that you actually improve as you go along for the evening?
Well, it's actually interesting to let you know, and that's a great question. So on this device that I have, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah.
It's the Porta-Tree Eliminator.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of cool features. It has a distraction mode. It has you can play it for as long as you want, and it'll tell your average, what your average reaction time is. It will tell you what your spread is. So let's say I'm going to practice, I don't know, let's just say 10 for a number. So if I accidentally red light, so let's say I'm going to be 5 thousandths red, and then I'm green, and my worst green is going to be, let's say 40. So it'll tell me what my spread is. So for me to practice and to try to get my game, I need to tighten that window as much as I can.
Yeah.
So I like to see a spread of no more than 15 thousandths. When you do 100 hits, that's almost impossible. Generally, when I try to do 10 at a time, then I'll take a step back and I'll do 10 again. Within 10 runs, because that'll factor 7 rounds of realistic 7 rounds of final eliminations, and then you generally get 3 qualifying runs prior to your eliminations, right? So that's 10. So generally I can get that spread to about 25. I'm still trying to tighten that window a little bit, but there's a lot of good features. So that's what I do. But I don't just look at the simulator and then I'll release when the lights come down, press it again, and release when the lights come down. I'll try to let a little bit of time go by. That's why it takes so long to do it. But I'll,
just kind of reset your mind.
Press the button, yeah, right, and then I'll let go. And then I'll kind of set the button down, wait a second, pick it back up, because if you just hit it back, back and back and back, you're not really doing yourself any good. You need to, get it as realistic as you can, where you're not just having free throw shots.
Now,
all
Jerry,
like a
I have
slot
to
machine.
ask
Bam,
you,
bam, bam.
Jerry, do you actually sit in a room by yourself and do this?
Yes, I do. So, but what I've changed this last week, what I've done, I actually have 2 young kids. I have a 4-year-old girl and and almost a 2-year-old young boy, and my wife that likes to be chatty Cathy.
So that's the distraction mode.
Is that the distraction mode button?
You got it, yeah. And I turn on the distraction mode in the machine. So actually, because, and I'll give you a great example of why that I started doing that this week. I had to run my brother Gary at a race a few races back. And he has the white, in the class that we ran each other, I run my 69 Camaro with a big block Chevrolet, right? So it's generally dialed in around the 1030 mark, 1020, 1030. Well, Gary's in the Cobra Jet, it's a supercharged Coyote engine, and he's generally dialed in the 8.8 second range. Well, coincidentally, when we run and I'm watching my tree come down, well, he goes on the 2-step, and when he decks it, that thing sounds like it's a time bomb about to explode, like a what, before he takes off. So when at a rate, I beat him, but just by luck, I was staring at the Christmas tree from my spot to leave. And when I went to go down, I mean, he engaged his 2-step, which kind of made me like, what? I mean, when I left the starting line, I was trying, because when I leave the starting line, I'm trying to kind of estimate what kind of light that I felt like that I had, because, the part about being a better racer is you got to be able to kind of call the light when you leave the start line, so you kind of figure out how the race is going to play out. And he had me all
flustered listening to the 2-step.
Confused. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was still trying to gather my thoughts as I was trying to put it in high gear. So that's the long story of why I try to do as much distraction as I can. And it's really helped, because I've been doing this distraction setup for the last week, and my range, again, my spread that we talk about, has shortened down tremendously, but that's what I'm working on.
So when you're doing the practice digitally with your device, how does that truly relate to the car? Because is there not any, when you let go of the button,
he's got a pedal, I assume.
But
yes, I have a pedal and the button. I go back and forth because I have my Superstock car is off the trans brake button.
Okay.
So this is the same thing, but I tend to use the button a little bit more. I found it to be very realistic. I don't have any problem going from the button, sliding into my race car, and going off the pedal. I don't have any issue with that.
But is there no delay in the car?
A great question. Now, so how it's designed to set up is that I'll grab this device. Let me see if I can show this to you. So you have these 3 lights right here, right?
Yeah.
So what I'll do, I'll put it on a 5/10, because it takes 0.5 of a second, and the kind of racing I do, for each amber to come on and go, count down. So I'll put this on a Pro Tree start. So like our great friend Erica Enders, right? She runs Pro Stock.
410.
Well, they have a tree where all the yellow lights light up, and then it goes to green. But the difference with Pro Stock is that it's on a 4/10 tree, right? So I'll make it a 5/10 Pro Tree, and I'll hold the button, and I'll stare at the yellows, and once all the yellows light up, I'll release. So the idea is to be, for me, I like to be between 005 and, let's say, 10 on the green side.
Wouldn't everybody?
So once I can adjust that delay, because when there's 0 delay, you're going to be red every time. Right? It makes sense. So you get it to where you can be between 005 and 10 or 15 with green, and then you take out the Pro Tree, and all you do, you just set it on a standard Sportsman tree where they count down. So the theory is you're going to leave off the flash of the yellow. The only thing different between that 5/10 Pro Tree where all these light up and the 5/10 amber tree is that you're going to have anticipation. That's what makes our racing a little hard. Some guys use blinders in their car where they block out the top 2, which is what I used to do. I don't do that anymore. But you basically are trying to react off the flash of the last yellow. And you do that by setting the rollout, doing a 5/10 Pro Tree where all of them come on. Then once you get your rollout set where you're between 5 and 10, then you make it where all the lights come down, and that's technically how you do it.
I'll bet you do really good in Las Vegas and shooting dice, don't you? Because that's kind of like what it is.
No, he doesn't have to do that. He's in the used car.
This is the truth. I've been to Vegas the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. I've never put a coin in a slot machine. Don't even walk by the tables.
I hear you.
He gambles in the used car business. He doesn't have to go to Vegas.
That's a gamble in itself.
So who were we talking to the last time that said you guys still have, I guess it's Speedy still has an opportunity for the World Championship because he has a national event.
Stan.
No, it was Stan that he still had, or Sheila, that you still have a national event opportunity ahead of him for his
national championship.
His national championship.
Well, that's actually me. I'm Jerry, so I'm the one that's actually in that position.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
This is Conrad. That's Mike.
It's the
Jeff.
Emmons brothers.
That's right.
So you still have a national event to score. To help
That's
you
correct.
win
So when we go out, we're going to leave Monday to go to Las Vegas for the national event. The weekend after is going to be the Las Vegas divisional event, and the weekend after that will be the Pomona national event. So for me, I'm 8 points behind a gentleman by the name of Joe Santangelo out of Connecticut. Very good racer, past world champion, tough person. And there's also a couple of guys behind us, but I don't want to say they have to do something extraordinary, but they're going to have to win something and then go deep at the next 2 events to be able to get close. But that's not to say they can't do it. They're just as good and highly trained drivers as well. But for me, when I show up at the Vegas National, I'm working on a second round loss. So if I can win second round, then I go in front of Joe Santangelo. Now he's going to be there. But his national event score is so good. So I have 3 races left to improve. He only has 2. His score, he has to be in the final at one national event, and he only has 1 left. So I don't know if that's going to be Vegas or if that will be Pomona. I would assume he's going to make it Vegas since he's already there for the both. So he has to make it to the final before he improves. So obviously I'm going in there with a win-out mindset, right? If I can just get to the final, I'm going to win. I mean, that's my plan. If I can win, it's over, and I don't have to worry about it. But if I fumble the ball and I only go, let's say, to the 3rd or 4th round, well, then sure, I'll pass him by by a round and a half. But when the divisional race shows up the next weekend, all he has to do is win the 3rd round, and then boom, he starts collecting points again. So for me, it's better if I do great at a national, because my divisional score is pretty well. I have to win the 4th round at a divisional, I believe, to improve my score. He just has to win the 3rd. But at a national, he has to go to the final, whereas I just have to win the 2nd round.
Okay. So
if that makes sense.
I think we've got can you hang with us for a few minutes? I think we've got a break coming up.
Yeah.
You bet.
Don't go away.
All right. Hang with us, and we'll be right back after this quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Show.
Garages of Texas offers first-class luxury garage suites to keep your collection in a safe, secure location with 24-hour access. You'll love your own private space that's developed with other like-minded enthusiasts in 2 Houston area locations, in Katy and the Woodlands. Visit garagesoftexas.com to see how other enthusiasts have designed their motor vehicle man cave. But you need to act fast. These properties are almost sold out. Visit garagesoftexas.com for full details.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Show. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday, talking to Jerry Emmons, Emmons Motors, about drag racing and
his pending national championship.
Yes.
And that.
How cool would it be to have him bring that back here
I know.
to Houston?
I know. Very cool. So the pressure's on you to It's all,
no pressure.
Yeah, just what he wants to hear from us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my nights have definitely. I don't sleep much anyway, but my nights have definitely went from like 5 hours of sleep to probably 3. But
Yeah.
hopefully when we get to the track, you're in the atmosphere of it. And I just don't want to come this far just to come this far. I want to close it out. My older brother Harvey, or Speedy, who you were referring to earlier, he won the world championship in 1994, and it was. I mean, for us, it's either car business or drag racing, and this is what we do.
The life you live.
We want to talk about the car business, and so let's switch gears and talk about that. By the way, I want to remind everybody that this segment of In Wheel Time is sponsored by Garages of Texas Luxury Garage Suites. Put a roof over your ride. Talking to Jerry Emmons at Emmons Motors down there in Friendswood, Texas. And I want to ask you about the used car business, because if anybody has a handle on it, it's you guys down there. I know that you guys move a lot of cars down there. As a matter of fact, our chief engineer, David Ainsley, bought one of your used cars. And the darn thing was it was not the Sienna, the Honda Odyssey van,
right?
But it was like a 2000 or something like that. But it only had 35,000 miles on it. I saw this thing.
It's pristine.
Yeah, it looked like it just walked off the showroom floor, and I'm going, wow, man, they've got these kind of cars down there?
Absolutely.
So how is inventory? How is the business?
Business is really good. Inventory for us is actually okay. We still have plenty of cars in stock. We're still buying more and more every day. I think we're not. I don't want to come off arrogant or anything, because we're not those kind of people. But we're not. Before, we were kind of trying to wait out the market, see what was going to change. But I think we're all in. We're buying at market prices, and because that's. I mean, if you don't, you're going to get left behind. So we have plenty of inventory. We're going to keep buying at the auction, but we get it in education every day. I want to share something with you. So there was a 2013 van. It was a F-250. I'm sorry. It was a van, E350, E250 cargo van, 2012, 2013 with like 8,000 miles. So retailing this thing, and retail isn't accurate because there's not a lot of low mileage cars. So you just kind of have to figure that in. Retail showed to be 15,000, 16,000. And, so that truck would it's a $25,000 retailable unit. Wow. And it's sold for $29,800 at the auction.
Holy cow.
$29,800.
Well, I had a story here just a couple of weeks ago that used car prices, retail, are up like 30 some odd % over what they were a year or two ago. I mean,
actually, for us, we actually had a dip in sales probably about 2 months ago, and we were, price cutting and making sure everything was priced accordingly before it went online. Some stuff we were losing money just to get it online, but hopefully would catch a trade or get some back end on it. And then I'm telling you, in a matter of 2 weeks, it's like a light switch went off. And you're right, the market is higher than what it ever has been. It really is.
But you're not finding any difficulty in finding inventory. I know you say you go to auctions. Is there a couple of favorite auctions you guys prefer, or do you just play the online and go everywhere you can?
Well, we just go everywhere we can. I predominantly take care of the West Coast and some of I say East Coast, but like Florida, I'll buy some out of there. A couple of my brothers buy here in Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and things like that. We get some out of Louisiana. But no, to answer your question, we're not having trouble finding the inventory. I think it was mental, right? For us, are you going to pay what the market dictates? And we are.
Well, yeah, because it's, because you have to be able to sell it at a profit level. And as the market's moving, that's what you got. The world you live in is trying to find the margin ups and downs to make
sweet
That's
spot.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Really, it's kind of like the stock market, right? I mean, stocks go up, stocks go down. To me, that's what the car business is.
So what are the main years of cars that you try to keep in inventory, and what sells?
The best seller is between a 2000 and let's say 2008 to 10 to like 2015. Obviously, with short miles, that always works good. But 25,000 and less is the car we like to buy, because that's what everybody buys.
Well, and you always have, because I drive by there often enough and every now and then stop in, but you guys always have such a great collection of Jeeps and trucks.
All on the front line.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's looking for one of those. You guys have a place to stop and have a choice of what to buy, as opposed to, you go someplace and they have one Jeep and 3 trucks.
Right. And thank you for the compliment. And we try to. We're actually low on Jeeps right now, and this is fall weather, right? Houston, Texas, you need a Jeep. The top can come off, and everybody can enjoy the holidays. We're a little low on that, so we're trying to. We have a lot coming in, but yeah, generally we had the whole front line and the back line. Nothing but 4-door, some lifted Jeeps. We find for a while, we would buy some stock ones and we would lift them, but we don't do a crazy rock crawler lift. we'll do like a 4-inch lift, put some nice wheels and tires on it. But we also keep some stock because people want just a regular Jeep as well.
Right. What do you predict the used car market is going to be like here in the next, say, 8 to 10 weeks?
I think it's not going down. I think it's going to be just as strong. I don't see how it could go much higher, but I think we're going to be in this for a while, at least another year.
That's what I keep hearing too. It's going to be at least another year before we get out of this new car crunch, where the new car dealers just can't get any inventory.
And do you guys play in the pure EVs on your used car side with the like a Tesla, a Leaf, the Bolt? Some of those pure electric vehicles. And how do you find that market as compared to the ice powered vehicles?
I know the Leaf, we've sold a few of those, and we actually had a customer return one because the range was too short. So they were not happy with it, but we sell them. And that actually kind of got us on it actually made us pay attention to buying that particular car more. We try to have them in stock because there's always someone who does short commuting that we can sell them to. But the Teslas, I haven't bought one. My brothers buy them more than I do, and we seem to do pretty well with them. But, then the Tesla, if it's that $50,000 and less, we can sell it. Obviously, it needs to have the big battery, things like that, and the nice big wheels. You don't want to get the one that looks like the 4-cylinder, with the skinny wheels and the
hubcaps.
4-cylinder battery. I love it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You don't want one.
Right. Yeah, because I was kind of wondering, in my head on the used car market, how does the pure EVs, do you draw that traffic in, and are people? And you're telling me that you do have customers coming in asking
absolutely.
for that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We're just we're still investigating that market and trying to educate ourselves about it and learn more about it as we go. But we always try to have a few in stock and kind of see what the customers say. Even when customers don't buy, we try to figure out that reason why. And is it us or is it the car? Obviously, we don't ever want it to be about us. We want to make them happy. But if they're not buying the car, why are you not buying the car? Is it not enough range?
No, it's the green paint, and the red interior.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting to see what you come up with, because I've always thought that, inside Houston, because people don't go very far, but Texas as a whole, it's a long ways from Houston to anywhere. It's a long ways across Houston. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops, because to me, things like the smart car and things that tried to come into Texas, they don't do it. We're just too big for that kind of driving.
You got it. That's right.
Jerry, it's great to talk to you. Thank you so much for catching us up on the drag racing thing and the education. And also, congratulations on a great, successful dealership down there at Emmons Motors in Friendswood.
Absolutely.
And finals.
Yeah,
you got it.
Go for the
finals. That's what I hope to be having another conversation with you with a World Championship trophy right here.
You bet.
Hey, we'll be cheering you on.
Jerry, take care. Thanks again. Good to see you again. All right.
Thanks.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the racing calendar.
Well, as talking to Jerry, we're finding out that the racing calendar is coming to a quick end. October 31st is Las Vegas, and then November 14th is Pomona, and that's the end of NHRA for the season.
Dun, dun, dun.
NASCAR this weekend is in Kansas. Next weekend is in Martinsville, and then NASCAR Finals is in Phoenix on November 7th. Formula One this weekend as it's Circuit of the Americas. Oh, boy, and is Max...
Is that this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh.
And is Max Verstappen a whiner?
Verstappen,
a whiner. Holy cow. I was watching practice, and, he's not a nice guy. But I've cheered him on. I like him.
Formula One. I wonder who's going to be there.
And then Mexico is the 7th of November. IMSA is going to be at Road Atlanta for their final on November 13th.
All right. Thank you, sir. Time now for this hour's car review.
Aha.
And it is our pre-owned car of the week. Mr. Dziekan talks about the 2016 Dodge Dart. I have to tell you that when they reintroduced the Dodge Dart back in this era, I got invited to the launch event, if you will, for the press. And I was impressed by the Dodge Dart back
like
in the
it
day.
too. Yeah,
it was a nice little car.
And that's why I picked it. This is 2016 Dodge Dart. Their available trim levels, ready for this? There are 11. 11 trim levels. Now, the Dodge Dart originally came out in 1963 to 1966, and then they moved on to bigger and better things after that. But the demise of this, and I'm going to read you some things here that we found out about it. The launch was flubbed by an emphasis on manual transmissions. The brand lacked the reputation of a competitive builder of small cars after 15 years of neons and calipers. Trim and engine variants were sometimes poorly aligned. The market for the passengers began to shrink overall and the industry expanded. The reasons for the Dodge Dart's demise are many. At the end of its run, however, the Dodge Dart's production end in September of 2016 represents a premature euthanization. So they killed it before they should have. After the Chrysler Automobiles boss, less than 7 months after the Dart, along with larger Chrysler 200s, would be withdrawn from the marketplace over a prolonged period of time. Now, in the videos you're seeing there, I've got a mixture of the Dodge Dart and it's,
new and old.
New and old. The generations of it. Now, the main reason is the Jeep Cherokee, which took over the Dodge Dart's position through FCA, which is the old name for Stellantis, and the manufacturing facilities wanted to retool. They weren't selling them. It was a poor launch. And to quote Sergio Marchioni, back in 2013 when it was being developed, "There's nothing wrong with the car," is what he said. And then in 2000,
just people didn't want to buy it.
And in 2016, we have decided to defocus from the manufacturing standpoint to defocus on the passenger car market. So they're getting into the Jeeps.
Oh, yeah, utilities, which is where everybody's playing.
Absolutely. So, moving on from that, and it was just as sad that they started something and they couldn't finish it, much like a lot of things in life. So it had a 1.4-liter four-cylinder, 160 to 184 on the horsepower, because there are different trim levels, 148 to 184 foot-pounds of torque with a 6-speed manual transmission, which absolutely killed it. 13.2 to 15.8 gas tank. 3 variations of wheel sizes. You got a 225/45/17, 225/40/18, and a 205/55/16. Trim levels, everything from an SE to a sport blacktop to a sport to a limited. It goes on and on.
Yeah.
So we're sorry to see that.
But to market it as a 6-speed was their demise.
It's their demise. They kept emphasizing on the manual transmission. It's a good-looking car. I liked it when it came out.
I like
and
the old one.
millennials couldn't drive it.
I like the old one.
Oh, yeah. There's quite a few pictures
I put a
of
few
old ones in
there. So that's it. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. The In Wheel
bet.
Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on your favorite podcast channel. And the In Wheel Time Car Show will continue right after this quick break. Sorry.
Winning the highest sales satisfaction award among all luxury brands from J.D. Power tells you everything you need to know about your Lincoln purchase from Bayway. Bayway Lincoln is where a premium buying experience is a priority, and you're invited to feel it yourself. This Houstonian-owned premier dealership is your #1 choice for Lincoln. Become a member of the Bayway family. If it's online, in person, or in your own driveway, Bayway gets you to the luxury level you deserve. Bayway Lincoln is on the Gulf Freeway at Fuquay, just inside Beltway 8. Visit BaywayLincoln.com today. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly cruise-in, will return Saturday, December 18th to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Tailpipes and Tacos wants to thank all of the participants and fans who've enjoyed the collector cars, hot rods, customs, originals, and resto mods, and everything in between. We'll be taking a break for Thanksgiving and Autorama, but we'll be back for a great Christmas cruise-in on December 18th, so make plans now. You know that Tailpipes and Tacos is the Houston area's coolest cruise-in, a place you'll see friends, family, and the finest cruise-in cars in the Houston area. It all happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for a very special Christmas cruise-in, Lupi style. It's Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, December 18th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Let's celebrate the Christmas season together at the next Tailpipes and Tacos on December 18th. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Gulf Coast Auto Shield has moved to a more convenient location. Now you can visit John Gray and his staff of dedicated professionals at their new shop on the South Sam Houston Parkway between Belford and Airport in Southwest Houston. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the best at paint correction and ceramic coatings. Clear bras and custom wraps are specialties that only Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs with award-winning accuracy, and all their services come with a warranty. Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Porsche, and Ferrari owners depend on Gulf Coast Auto Shield for their specialty services, and you should too. The in-wheel time Corvette and Cutlass have both been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield, so isn't it time your vehicle visit their new shop in Southwest Houston? Call John Gray today at 832-930-5655 or visit online at gcautoshield.com. That's gcautoshield.com. Paint, coatings, wraps, and more at gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.